Alrighty guys, we're back for some Mondrak's Uprising, and this is a Phyrexia all will be one standard brew. We're gonna go over the deck, then hop right into some ranked, but first things first, for anyone who may not know, I'm Redcat and I play aggro decks and any decks with red in them as well, so I hope that sounds fun to you. Also, we do got that Discord link down in the description if you're interested in joining that up. Okay, what do we got in the build here? This one's based around Mondrak, Glory Dominus. This is a 4-mana, 4/4 legendary creature. If one or more tokens would be created under your control, twice that many of those tokens are created instead. And then for 1 and 2 white Phyrexian mana, sacrifice 2 other artifacts and or creatures, put an indestructible counter on Mondrak. It's a pretty cool, pretty powerful, I think, 4-drop, right? And this is going to pair nicely with pretty much everything in here, but Eiganjo Uprising. This reminds me, guys, this was a challenge slash suggestion over in the Discord, so thank you so much for the suggestion. This is definitely going to be a fun one. This is an X, a red, and a white sorcery speed. You create X 2/2 white samurai creature tokens with vigilance. They gain menace and haste until end of turn. Each opponent creates X -1 2/2 white samurai creature tokens with vigilance. So the goal here is to get Mondrak, Glory Dominus on the board, drop the Uprising, you get double the amount of samurais, and the opponents don't get double, right? So that's going to be very, very cool, especially if we have something like Devilish Valet on the board, rocking all 4 of them here. It's a 3-mana, 1/3 trample haste with Alliance, and of course, whenever another creature enters the battlefield under your control, double Devilish Valet's power until end of turn. Yep, this is going to be a great in here. Well, I hope, right? There's so much removal in standard right now. Okay, what else do we got in here? Well, we have 2 Yotian Frontliners on the top end. It's just a powerful creature, and being able to unearth this is pretty sweet, and when it attacks in, giving +1/+1 to something goes a very long way. We have 4 Crawling Chorus. Oh, also, yeah, give that +1/+1 to like the Devilish Valet, for example, could be cool too. Okay, 4 Crawling Chorus, a 1-mana 1/1 with Toxic 1. And when Crawling Chorus dies, you create a 1/1 colorless Phyrexian Might artifact creature token with Toxic 1, and this creature can't block. Just being able to keep extra creatures on the board is sweet, and then if this ends up dying while Mondrak's on the board, you get 2 of the Mights instead, which is sweet. Speaking of the Mights, guys, we got a couple Skrelv's Hive in here. Just 2 of them this time is all I could end up fitting in. We might talk about going up to 3 or 4 of these in the final thoughts, but we'll see, huh? Resolute Reinforcements giving us tokens, helping us go wide. Sounds good to me. Soul Partition, great removal. Trying out one of them in here. We have 3 Charge of the Mights. This is a 3-mana instant speed. We get to choose one of these abilities. Charge of the Might deals damage equal to the number of creatures you control to target creature or planeswalker. That's pretty cool. Or you can create 2 1/1 colorless Phyrexian Might artifact creature tokens with Toxic 1, so more of the Mights, right? Yeah, looks good to me. Drop in Charge of the Mights, get some of the Phyrexian Mights onto the board, double the Valet's power twice. Sounds really good. It is instant speed as well, so if you're swinging in with Valet and Frontliner, you go Frontliner, give the Valet +1/+1. Maybe they don't block the Valet or something, then you Charge of Mights at instant speed, get a couple more 1/1s onto the board, buff that Valet to 4, buff that Valet to 8, maybe you have the Adeline too. Now as you guys call it, Magic Christmas Land is happening, and you're also getting that human to buff the Devilish Valet as well. So yeah, 3 Adelines in here, very, very powerful creature. Have a single Nahiri the Unforgiving as well. No equipments, but let's hear me out, right? There's this bottom ability here. So for 0, exile target creature or equipment. So we can totally just get rid of a creature. With mana value less than Nahiri's loyalty from your graveyard, okay, it's going to be a lot in here. Create a token that's a copy of it. That token gains haste. Exile it at the beginning of the next end step. Well, Mondrak does say if 1 or more tokens would be created under your control. So let's say the opponent did remove the Valet and you drop the Nahiri after you have the Mondrak on the board. Well, you use that 0 ability, bring the Valet token onto the board, which is awesome. Oh my goodness. So you create a token that's a copy of it, And then you get 2 of the valets actually. And now, again, right, if you had the Adeline on the board or anything like that, then you're buffing double the amount of valets. Or maybe you already had another valet on the board, so you're just like going for a full wide board state of valets. I think it's going to be a cool one in here. It also has a couple +1 abilities on here. Discard a card, draw a card. Okay. The other +1 is until your next turn, up to 1 target creature attacks a player each combat if able, which could potentially help you out. It really depends. The very top end of the build, guys, we're rocking all 4 burn down the house. We're really looking at that devil ability, being able to just slam 3 devils onto the board, or turn 4 Mondrak, turn 5 burn down the house, 6 devils onto the board, right? And so if you go turn 3 Valet, turn 4 Mondrak, turn 5 burn down the house, that is a big old chunky Valet from the devils. And honestly, 6 1/1 devils that when they die they deal 1 damage is pretty deadly even without the Valet. So also sometimes we're just going to need a emergency board wipe after the opponent has gotten rid of everything. This does hit planeswalkers as well, which I think is going to come in handy after seeing what I've been going up against recently. So 25 total mana, rocking the Sundown Pass, the Forge, a couple Crucibles of Defiance, and a single Seed of the Empire. Yeah, a couple Crucibles in a deck like this can go a long way. Creating those spirits can help you wrap up a game, because again, it's a couple spirits at instant speed. It does cost 1 less if you have legendary creatures between Mondrak and Adeline. Those are a couple legendaries in here, so this could get pretty cheap, pretty fast. Honorable mentions. Riveteer's Requisitioner almost made the list. I do like the ramp with it. Using those extra treasures on the Uprising's X ability sounds pretty good. Squee almost made the list, not this time though. Urabrask's Forge was considered, not this time though. And Jaxus also almost made the list, right? But so you create a token that's a copy of another target creature you control. So if you copy like an Adeline or something, it doesn't necessarily work. It doesn't work with the Mondrak either. And we can always check out Jaxus Mondrak another time as well, but it could have been cool in here potentially, right? Okay, that's that. That's the list, guys. Hopefully. Oh, another thing with the Jaxus, of course, is it works pretty well with the Valet as well. So yeah, it's definitely an honorable mention. Okay, hopefully I went over the list well enough. Let's go ahead, take it into some ranked, and see how we do. We got right into that first match, guys. So, how do I feel the deck is gonna do? I think it's actually gonna be pretty decent. This is an alright first hand. None of our combos, but like it's an alright first hand. I don't think this is a mulligan by any means. Probably start with Frontliner depending on what they play here. Uh-oh, they just went down to 5. You okay over there, opponent? That's not good. That's not good, buddy. Stick around though. Oh, thank you. Alright, we're gonna actually start with Chorus. They dropped the GGs. Oh no, opponent. I believe in you, buddy. I believe in you. Frontliner 1, Frontliner 2. It's a pretty good swing next turn. Probably just play Crucible as land. Oh, Sundown Pass though. That totally works. Jawbone Duelist, huh? Double Strike Toxic is bad for us. I don't mind the full swing here. I don't mind the full swing at all. And we'll let them take out a Frontliner for free if they want to. I don't mind that. Frontliner in the grave and 2 Toxic on the opponent. Not like that necessarily matters, but maybe we should play the no, yep, just gonna play nothing actually. Bit of an awkward turn 3. Maybe we should have played the Unforgiving. I don't think so though. Lay Down Arms takes care of the Crawling Chorus really nicely. We're getting a couple poison counters too. Hey, Eiganjo Uprising. Okay. 4th mana on the board. I'm getting a little concerned here, honestly. Yeah, it doesn't matter, does it? Just making sure we weren't taking any extra damage at all. Is it worth hitting the frontliner just to be able to swing in with it this turn? Not really. I don't mind going and seeing if we can find something better off the top here too. Alright, we'll go 0 and we'll see if they decide to do anything. And my thought process here is it's 4 damage. And every little bit of damage is going to come in handy. We'll see, because yeah, either way, we could have brought back the frontliner with an unearth. Are they going to swing at the Nahiri, or are they going to swing at face? Yeah, I would have swung at face too, honestly. See if we can find something a little better here. Mondrak is perfect. Oh my goodness. It's too bad we didn't have the Mondrak on the board last turn. It really depends if we see that 5th mana, which is a good reason to have 25 in here. I don't really want to discard anything until your next turn. Up to 1 target creature attacks a player each turn if able. I guess we can do that and force them to attack with the human too. I guess that's fine. Show me what you're made of. A little bit awkward, I suppose, like how we're kind of being forced to hold back a little bit. Lay down arms could hit the frontliner now. Forced to swing with the 1/1. If they swing with duelist, we're blocking. Yeah, they're forced to swing with the 1/1. Block here. They have this one open. Although we could block with frontliner, bring it back next turn, get double the amount of frontliners. I'm actually going to do that. Let's give it a shot, man. Let's give it a shot. Double frontliners next turn. Wow, Devilish Valet has haste. I'm getting very excited right now. We're drawing pretty well overall. Could also just bring back the frontliner with Unearth, but this is much better, isn't it? That is very fun, and we now have the, well, we don't have the Indestructible available technically, but... And we will go all into Valet. Make sure it survives a double block if that's what they were going for. Okay, another 1/1 is down. And I suppose we could sacrifice 2 other artifacts and or creatures. We could let them keep the human. They take 6. We take 4. Oh, opponent! Oh no! GG. I mean, they still had, like, lay down arms in the build. We don't know what was in their hand, though. Yeah, we were going to take 4. We were going to ditch the frontliners that were going to die anyways. They were going to go down to 5, right? Lay down arms was only hitting for 2, though, because, yeah, one of these was a Seat of the Empire. So even if they played a 4th mana that was a Plains, it still couldn't hit the Mondrak. And so the Mondrak was going to be a problem with the Indestructible. Yeah, I liked our odds there. However, the opponent did mulligan down to 5. So definitely something to think about. As for a second there, I got pretty scared. We drew really well. And it's too bad I didn't actually get to play the Uprising on the following turn. Or, if we would have seen a mana too, then of course the burn down the house would have been awesome. So... Yeah, pretty good draws. Oh, good hand. Yeah, very good hand. Let's start with Crawling Chorus again, probably. Or... if we start with Frontliner, it's less damage. Which I guess is fine. I guess. I don't really know. I think starting with Frontliner was fine overall, though. And Crucible. So either way, we'll be taking 1 damage here. And I'm actually going to keep the reinforcements open for their turn to see if they counter it. Generally speaking, what ends up happening, they play their 2nd mana. They don't counter the reinforcements because they want to keep like the Make Disappear open for your 3-drop. But if they do counter the reinforcements, then you're in the clear to play your 3-drop, and so it's worth keeping open then. Oh, no blue. Okay, good. Excellent. Discards a card, huh? Probably get rid of Crucible. They're tapped out. I'm going to do this now because I am hasty with my plays. I try to be. Let's go Crucible, right? I think. Keep the Sundown Pass. Actually, keeping Crucible would have made more sense. But taking less damage when we play the Adeline is what I was thinking there. Do this before combat. They trade into this. We get another human over here, though. Mondrak's a good draw, but we need to see another mana now. Spot removal for Adeline is feeling likely. Ooh, only a swamp open. Burn down the house. Man, we are getting expensive things, huh? Play the Crawling Chorus before combat because it affects the combat with the Adeline. And we will buff you. Nice. Really good swing. Down to 6. The opponent needs to wipe this board, which I suppose is possible. It's gonna say, what could it be? Path to Peril doesn't hit the Adeline though, does it? Yeah, GG opponent. Wow, nice. Didn't really see any of the combos there. Didn't even get a 4th land onto the board, but sometimes Adeline runs away with games pretty nicely, especially when you're going that wide. Good couple of games. Feel like I got a little bit lucky. A little bit. I was expecting Demir in that matchup for some reason, so I was like preparing myself to play around Make Disappear and everything, but no red source. Nothing great to do early on. This is a mulligan. I don't think this is a keepable hand. Technically you could. Yeah, no, I don't like it. I don't like it. We're gonna do it. Well, you wouldn't think there's 25 mana in here. I've been struggling to draw mana recently, so we might want to talk about having more. Alright. Let's ditch the burn down the house, I suppose. Oh, is that the one? I don't know. We have 4 of them in here. We don't want to ditch a land, that's for sure. Don't really want to lose any of my early creatures either. The Nahiri could have been an alright one to ditch, I suppose. My thought process was no guarantees on seeing the 5th mana. Or the 3rd mana for that matter, right? So if I would have known we were drawing the Hive, then I would have skipped the chorus, went Sundown Pass, and then Plains, because getting Hive down earlier is much, much better, but... So we'll prevent the Toxic from starting for now. We know how explosive Rot Priest can be. I think that's a completely fine block. Hive is coming down. Battlefield Forge, beautiful. We can go Valet, get some swings, and then maybe go from there. Valet blocks a lot better. The Hive is not going to come down this turn. I like getting Valet down here. I don't mind that one bit. We'll see if that was an alright decision, as the Rot Priest is now getting through. And I think that the main thought process there is, like, we could still go Nahiri next turn and get the Crawling Chorus out of the grave. And swing with that as well. Wow, Battlefield Forge is great. Mondrak hitting the board sounds really good. They have a great block with the other Rot Priest. Mondrak does not have a chance of getting indestructible if we play that this turn. So far the deck's been drawing relatively weird. Gonna keep it all back, drop the Mondrak and see what we see. Also, if we were swinging with Valet, then we'd want to drop Mondrak first, so that way it's a 2-3. Couple Skrelv's Hive could help us win this game if we can beat them before they get lifelink on all their toxic creatures. But double Rot Priest is probably... Oh no! Oh, I'm glad we kept everything back here, but that's really bad. And a Fateful Absence for the Mondrak. We're dead, guys, unless we see something just absolutely terrific here. Unless we see something absolutely terrific, we're out of this game for sure. The Fateful Absence topping off was the nail in the coffin, I would say. Reinforcements. Reinforcements is good and all, but not enough mana to do everything. Yeah, the draws, like, I guess not the draws, but like the lines of play have been a little bit awkward overall. Because right here they have a block, so we can't really swing with Might, but it can't block either. So we swing with Valet and see what they do. But they just take the 1, right? And so even though we're getting some extra damage through, it's not that much extra damage. If we had like Frontliner, then it would have been a good chunk of extra damage overall. Down to 11, and we're going to attempt the Hive. We have 2 blockers, and we are in some serious danger. They're getting there too, though. If they end up... If we can go one more turn, if we can actually see something that buffs the Valet one more time, then we might actually be able to get there. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 poison on the board. We block the Singer. Oh, that's terrifying. They have 1 card in hand, guys. Target 1/1. None of them are a 1/1 now. So that's good. So 10 damage over there. 1 card in hand. Do you guys think they have it? You know what? If they have it, they have it. No, we should block. We should block. It's 1, 2, 3, 4 going through, and then we'd get 2 more if they target something here. Alright, let's see if the Valet can close up the game next turn. It might. It depends on what we draw. Nahiri won't be enough, though. Although we can bring back the reinforcements, and the Valet does get a buff from the Hive here, too. Wow, burn down the house. Wow, if we could have played that out. Yeah, it's like I said, it doesn't even feel like we have 25 mana in here. So we have 2 Battlefield Forge. We are just going to play this out like this. That's completely fine. So this could be like another Fateful Absence, and they just hit the Devilish Valet. Other than that, we bring back Resolute Reinforcements. Oh, it's not enough, is it? It's not enough. Oh, no. It was really cool. Oh, wait. They had lifelink anyways. Oh, I wasn't even paying attention. They're at 21, guys. They're chilling at 21. Oh, we're super duper dead. And they had removal for the Valet anyways. Oh my goodness. I'm not gonna lie, I'm a little embarrassed that, yeah, I wasn't paying attention to the lifelink at all. Yeah, no, GG opponent. What were they at? Were they at 9? Because our 8 would have went through, and then the Hives would have wrapped up the game. Man, the lifelink on the Skrelv's Hive, that had to be the, that was the actual nail in the coffin then, right? Well, not necessarily, because they still found removal for it anyways. Yeah, good game opponent. I don't know, man. I don't know. Deck feels relatively... I guess we'll block here. Deck feels relatively awkward so far. I can't really tell if it's the draws. I feel like we've been drawing pretty well overall. Something about like the lines of play that makes it feel a little awkward, but at the same time, there's really cool lines of play too. I don't know. I need to play more. I need more. I need 10 more games right here, right now. Let's do this. But of course, our one of our main goals is to actually use the Uprising while the Mondrak is on the board too. Something to be said about playing Mondrak before you actually have the 1 mana open to potentially protect it too, but I don't know. Yeah, no red source again here. I'm gonna try it this time. We go first. We have a really good couple first turns here, so we have plenty of time to draw in to the red source. And it'll be interesting to see how much mana we actually see, because yeah, 25 just doesn't feel like enough right about now. Start getting the poison through. No real good reason to start getting the poison through, but you never know when it actually comes down to. Oh, nothing on their turn 2. Probably just like a lightning strike then. See our 3rd mana, but it is not a red mana, which is fine. Commando flips next turn. Not going to keep blockers for it. We could always use the reinforcements, but... yeah, technically this is a mulligan, but I'm testing the deck's limits right now. Any land off the top would be sweet. They're going to swing? They're not going to swing. Alright. Reinforcements will come down. Nice and wide. Nice. Nice. Okay. So, while Gruul has some big old chunky creatures over there, we could potentially have a sweet next turn with Uprising. X is 2, or X is 3 if we see mana, or Burn Down the House is available too. If we swing with Crawling Chorus and they block, then we do get a couple 1/1s, which I guess could be cool. We're going wider in that sense. They might just take the 1 damage here. The wider we go, the better, I would say. I think that's completely fine. Oh, it exiles. Oh no, I always do that, guys. It exiles. Oops. Oh, etching. Etching is so powerful. I love Commando Faces Sokenzan so much. I know everyone else is very annoyed by its presence in everything, but I love it. And I somehow, like, I know when it exiles my opponent's creatures, and I don't know when it exiles my creatures. So, oops. So the best bet, yeah, no, that was just a straight up terrible misplay. I'm sorry, guys. Let's just take the 6 and hope that they don't have a fight spell here. Like, oh my goodness. If it's gonna be a tail swipe or a bushwhack and kill the Mondrak, then we're in trouble. Hey, Devilish Valet. Oh man, how greedy do we go though? Because this X is 2, we get 4 and they get 1, and then we full swing is still pretty good. Like, Valet's fine for the turn, but if they kill Mondrak, I guess we can go Valet and then we have 1 open to protect the Mondrak. Alright, let's go greedy then. Let's do it. We have 1 open to protect the Mondrak. And I suppose that does mean we swing with these 2, right? We have 2 open for the block next turn. The forest could be like a giant growth. We take the 5 damage. Might have been greedy. If we kept Valet back, it blocks etching well. And we're at 12, so we could potentially just perish next turn. But I mean, come on, man. We gotta try the fun play, and we potentially have Indestructible on the Mondrak, which is very powerful against Gruul. Indestructible versus Gruul is very tough for them to get around. So like we double block the Maze Crusher when they give it Menace, then we sacrifice the 2 creatures to the Mondrak. Now we're taking 4 damage if we do that though. I didn't think about that necessarily. They're passing? Oh. Do I go? No, I think we just let it go. We don't have double red for burn down. Poor burn down the house. Poor burn down the house. It's not doing much today, huh, guys? We're gonna go X's too. We're not gonna go super overkill here. Actually, we're going super overkill. I was gonna say we keep 1 open for the indestructible on the Mondrak, but this is completely fine since we have Valet on the board. So I guess a Lightning Strike could be available in the opponent's hand, which takes care of Valet. A 64-3 Trampoline Valet. Other than that, the 6 Samurai is pretty sweet too. Well, they didn't. They dropped the nice. I'm gonna actually play it safe though, because I'm pretty sure that's a Lightning Strike. No, it is not. Hey, wow, GG, let's go. Holy cow, I'm glad the misplay, the terrible misplay, that was a really bad one, didn't get in the way from our victory there. That was nice, huh? And it looks like we have time for 1 or 2 more games, depending on how fast it is. And that one didn't necessarily play out too awkwardly. I think it's actually the mana base, isn't it? Might just be drawing bad too, honestly. I don't know. In the final thoughts, I'll talk more about it, but we could go up a red source. That would be fine, but there's not a lot of red in the deck to begin with, so keeping a hand with just white actually just ended up working out there, and we didn't get too punished for it. And most of the time, you're actually going to see your dual land too, so good hand. It's actually been a pretty tough decision to decide between Chorus and Frontliner, and this time I'm going to go Chorus. They're both great 1-drops. Ooh. Well, Hive is going to hit the board. Potentially this could be a Spell Pierce. It is a Spell Pierce. Crap. Crap. So we could have played around it and kept reinforcements open, but I think it was worth the risk, maybe. Great blocker. Keep reinforcements open for their turn. Can't swing into that. So a little bit of a different take on mono blue sounds good to me. Honestly, yeah, last turn attempting reinforcements wouldn't have done too much because this turn they probably... Well, it depends. It depends. Let's see if they counter this. Usually they let it hit and then try to counter our card on our next turn, but they could still have like a Spell Pierce open here too. Oh, Charge of the Mites. Man, this Surge Engine is definitely going to be a pain in the butt, though. This is instant speed. We can't successfully swing into that. So, yeah, Mono Blue completely slowing us down here with the Surge Engine. I love the addition. Opponent, I haven't seen Mono Blue rock Surge Engine for quite some time, if ever. It's a cool addition so far. And Essence Capture is one you don't see too often too, which is actually surprising, since usually Mono Blue has some pretty cool creatures to plug that into as well. Alright. We're gonna go wide, and again, if they counter, we could top deck. No counter that time. They let us have the Mites. No 4th mana. I guess we do want to talk about 26 mana for this build, guys. It's a little silly. A little silly to me. Stop blocking everything, Surge Engine. You're being a pain in the butt. And they have 4 mana open too. We could start full swinging. They start by taking out the chorus, I guess. The problem with the tokens is Fading Hope. Probably want to block the chorus, and then they Fading Hope the one that we put the Frontliner +1/+1 on. They could block Frontline. Oh, they want to take less damage here. Oh, nice. See, I don't mind actually keeping the crawling choruses on the board. And since we were wide enough this turn, getting some extra poison counter through can go a long way in helping us wrap up the game, because at any point, if we get Mondrak onto the board successfully, then when the crawling choruses die, as long as etching isn't on the board, and we get double the toxic creatures from the tokens, right? So yeah, the toxic damage getting through is probably pretty important. Wow, another crawling chorus. Their blockers are just too good right now, I would say. Now that they have 2 of them and they can successfully take 2 of these out, we get maybe 1 toxic through. They still have an island here too. We just kind of like awkwardly play this. Everything's felt a little awkward, but we've had some really great wins today too, so maybe it's not as awkward as I'm like initially thinking. I don't know, like everything, it's probably coming back to the mana base, which is silly to me. Because 25 should definitely be able to run this. Oh, we do have 4 5-drops with the burn, and 5 4-drops between the 4 Mondraks and the Planeswalker. Oh, another Haughty Djinn. That's brutal. Oh, another Mondrak. That's even more brutal. Alright, guys. We're in some serious trouble here. Surge Engine could have been swinging in, closing up this game a lot sooner, since they can actually attack with this and they can't, like... Yeah, we're going. We're just going, guys. There's not a lot to be done here. Since they're blocking the 2/2s, I guess getting an extra token would be fine here, since we can't play out the Mondraks. A couple extra poison getting through is pretty good. It's not half bad, guys. Because at any point, if they lose some blockers, the Toxic might be able to wrap up this game. At this point, we really, really need to get some land to play out the burn down the house. Any ideas for ramp for this deck? Something that would work with... Because I guess the best case... Yeah, the Riveteers card that I can't remember the name of right now. It was an honorable mention. You get the treasure tokens from it. And if you have Mondrak on the board when it dies, you get double the treasure tokens. Since everyone's killing everything anyways, when it dies, getting that treasure token could go a long way. So for 3 mana, we get a 2/2 White Samurai, and they don't get any. Next turn they win. Even if we keep blockers back, we can't block Surge Engine, so we just kind of swing. I guess we could have created the 2/2 with Vigilance first, but it's the opponents either way. They block. Yeah. 6 poison, not half bad, honestly. And I'm just going to keep it all back. Maybe they don't attack. I'm pretty sure they just full swing, though. Surge Engine just doing a ton of stuff there for the opponent, actually. And some simple spot removal could go a long way. But the cool thing about Surge Engine is a lot of people's spot removal right now is go for the throat. Like, that is the main spot removal that I'm seeing everywhere. And go for the... Oh, good game, opponent. Did I drop him the GGs? I forget. I'm so invested in talking about the awkwardness of the deck and then talking about how cool the Surge Engine was in the opponent's mono blue there. Wonder if that was... I wonder if they had a 4 of, or if they had just a couple of them. I'm not really sure what they would want in there. I'm definitely not a mono blue expert, that's for sure. Okay, cool matches today. We got some cool victories, man. Mondrak's Uprising. Here's the list again. 26 land. Go off 26. We got to. Yeah, no, 25 just, wow, it does not feel like we're rocking 25 land in these decks anymore, guys. It's crazy how little we're actually drawing. You drop down to like 19 or 20 land in your aggro list, and you have 6 land on the board by the end of the video, right, or by the end of the match. So what would I drop? I would drop a single Burn Down the House. I would drop a single Mondrak. I would go up a single Charge of the Mites, and I would go up a single mana. So you have 26 mana, a bunch of 3-drops. You still have 4 drops and 3 5-drops with the Burn Down the House. If you drop the Mondrak, you're going to see less of the combos, but that's fine overall. I still think 3 is going to be fine, especially since it's a legendary creature as well. So yeah, that's what I would do. Drop a burn, drop a Mondrak, go up a Charge of the Mites, because it not only acts as removal, but gets you those extra mites onto the board, which is just going to work so well in so many different occasions, right? And the instant speed is definitely key here. Go up the 26th mana, and you'll probably see too much of it then. So if you do end up testing out the deck or anything, let me know down in the comments. Of course, decks like this, you know, lean towards jank anyways. So of course, you know, never craft anything unless you particularly love the deck. I never recommend, you know, crafting jank unless you have the extra wild cards and stuff and you really, really love it, because it is hard to get like daily wins and stuff, especially when the meta is so particularly powerful. But if you already have the cards and everything, then a deck like this is really fun, and it can still get you wins. We proved that here today. Just playing very powerful cards in general can end up doing that. And if you are trying to win more often than not, then dropping down to 1 or 2 uprisings would be pretty good too. I think it's still a pretty great way to help you wrap up games overall when you are rocking the Mondrak. So having 1 or 2 of these could still be fine. And again, if you want it to be more competitive, when you do drop down to 1 or 2 of these, then going up like another Soul Partition could be good. I suppose I wouldn't go up to 2 Nahiris. I think the 1 was fine, and yeah, we actually saw the 1 quite often, didn't we? It would have been awesome to see Burn Down the House do something today, but yeah, just not enough mana, huh? So if we check out the treasures real quick, let's check this out. Yeah, Riveteer's Requisitioner was the card I was talking about. Getting that extra treasure token could go a long way to actually seeing what you need to see. In that last match, that would have done wonders, but we probably wouldn't have been able to land the Burn Down the House anyways. I'd say like 95% chance they had a counterspell waiting in the hand anyway, so even if we did perfectly draw the land we needed, the burn probably wasn't going to land, hitting 2 Jin and their Surge Engine, right? So, I don't know. I'm not necessarily convinced by Requisitioner. I suppose like Fable of the Mirrorbreaker could be good in a deck like this too and work well with ramp. Actually, yeah, Fable could be huge, a huge way to push this a little bit more competitive as well, right? Because at that point, when you drop the burn, drop the Mondrak, drop 1 or 2 uprisings, then you do have room for 2 to 4 Fables at that point, depending on how much you want. Maybe 2 or 3, drop a Charge of Mites then at that point too, since you're going to have a lot of 3-drops, or drop an Adeline and then go up, probably still go up to 26 mana, but that might have just been because of the matches that I saw here today. Like my brain is saying, oh, it needs 26, but at the same time, small sample size. So if we play like 20 more games, I'll probably end up flooding out 15 of them or something. And so when I'm telling you guys go up 26, then, well, it really depends, because maybe we just weren't seeing the mana today. But no, I could see Fable doing a lot in here, especially getting the extra creatures on the board to buff the Valet and everything too. So yeah, cool deck. I liked it, guys. Lots to be said here at the end, just because of these incredibly awkward plays and awkward draws that we saw today, and then just not seeing mana sometimes. So yeah, lots to say, I suppose. Either way, enough rambling, huh? If you made it this far into the video, y'all are champions. Oh, and hey, thank you so much for the challenge again. This was awesome. I love it when you guys give me a challenge. like this. It's always a lot of fun. I mean, my favorite part of Magic is just building the decks, and so I just have a blast putting these together, you know? All right, I will see you guys in the next video.